So in order to fit it into 5 minutes, I had to cut some slides, both of them. So one of the things that I was going to show you guys is about Yeoman, which is something that makes JavaScript, programming JavaScript so easy that I am going to program blindfolded. Okay, so hopefully I've got the keyboard. All right. Wish I could touch type. Damn. All right. Done. Woo! All right. So what this waterfall of text is doing is it's scaffolding out an application for you. And Yeoman actually uses mostly convention over configuration. So basically, if there's a bunch of other people who have used best practices and figured out what do you pretty much want to structure your app like in various different ways, and you can just follow that convention. There's generators for pretty much any kind of JavaScript technology you want to talk about. And you can even combine them in various interesting ways. Most of the generators give you different options to pick different things with. Yeoman actually, oops, my resolution changed a little bit. It's actually comprised of 3 different things. And you can install it just by going using npm node package manager to install Yeoman, which will also give you Grunt and Bower. Yeoman is the scaffolding, so it basically creates things based on your on the convention and any options you pick when it asks you those questions. It creates a bunch of files out of that that are the default structure for your app and everything. Bower does dependency management, and the thing that's tricky is that wait a sec, I just used npm. Isn't that dependency management? Bower is actually specifically designed towards front-end stuff, and it's instead of just doing packages, it actually does components. So it could be like CSS, other things like that. It also it has a flat dependency tree, so that you don't have like 15 different versions of jQuery for all the different things. You just have one version, and you don't have to have that inefficiency. Grunt is a task runner, and so the typical workflow that you would do is you go ahead and run a generator that gives you kind of the basis of what you want. And then if you want, you can use Bower to install some other components that maybe the generator didn't have. You want to use some kind of add a special test runner or something like that. You can use Bower to look those up. And then Grunt will let you actually minify and concatenate and do all the other kind of stuff that you want so that you actually have an application that's distributed and ready for you to toss up on the web. Grunt, a lot of these generators also come with Grunt serve, which will actually allow run a little server embedded inside of there so that you can actually see your application. And if we go back to this one over here, so I can actually do like this, and oops, let's do Grunt first. Oh, great. And it'll go ahead and it's minifying everything and getting everything all ready for me. And it pops up a little application and its own little server inside there. But it's going a little slow right now because, you know, it's a lightning talk, so of course it's going to take a while. But anyways, the one thing to notice about Grunt is that when you're picking these different plugins for Grunt, if you want to add things to your task runner, you want to pay attention to who's downloaded the most, because those ones are generally the ones that are best engineered. If you're looking for Bower components, again, you want to look and see what's got the highest stars. You can search by anything in all of these things, but for instance, you know, if you find something that's really been used a lot, it's probably well engineered and a good thing to go ahead and just throw in your project. If you find something that no one has ever used, I don't know, see how you do there. Yeoman actually has a similar setup, and you can look at either how things are rated or how many forks they've got on it. The other thing that's nice about Yeoman is that there's some generators that actually give you a full stack and have all kinds of bells and whistles and pretty much do everything. And meanwhile there's other ones, say for instance this Bootstrap one, that just does one very small, simple thing. It doesn't give you all the grunt stuff. It doesn't give everything like that. If you look at it, it's just got some Bower components and just sets you up with that. And those ones are meant to be added together. You don't have to use one of the big fancy ones that has everything all together. You can build your application from very specific minor generators and just have it that way. The other thing that's nice is that if you actually want to run, you're trying to combine all these different things. If you're doing something that's actually, like I ran the Angular one earlier, and if I'm trying to actually run the Ember one, which is a competing framework, Yeoman's pretty good about telling you, this is you're gonna have a conflict, or you're gonna want to overwrite this, so that you won't actually end up just making a big mess of everything. And that is pretty much. There's one other trick is that as you're adding all these different things together in Grunt, it'll give you instructions for any of these different program things. When you're loading them, just note that there's a load npm task that will actually make it so that it's all wired up into your thing, and you don't actually have to add them all. That's sort of confusing in the beginning, but that's pretty much Yeoman in a nutshell. Thank you. Have a nice day.